choices. This on-demand transport is so easy to get around your local community. It only costs you $1.20 or $2.40 depending if you've got a concession. Adrian has been a very strong advocate for better public transport services here in Hervey Bay. We've had many discussions about it, and I'm really pleased to be able to stand with Adrian here today on a very historic day for this region, because there is real demand for on-demand transport in this area. On the Gold Coast, it's worked incredibly well. You book it on the app, it comes around, picks you up, and when you want it to pick you up later on, you do the same thing. It's very easy. You share the bus with a couple of others. They're very cute. We call them the poncho buses on the Gold Coast. These are actually a little larger. See, these are like sort of the uncle or aunt of poncho buses here in Hervey Bay, because they can fit 37 people in them, whereas the ponchos down on Gold Coast fit about 18 or 19. Great thing is that they're fully accessible, so there's capacity for wheelchairs. People got disabilities. Getting around will be so much easier in this area because of this on-demand bus service that starts from February the 20th. So I urge people to get some information. Go to Adrian Tentari's Facebook page. I'm sure he'll have lots of information on there on how to use it. And what we find is once the buses start moving around, they're very distinctive, you won't miss them. People start talking about them and they start using them, and they're a fantastic way of doing public transport in a new way. So in Hervey Bay, new way for public transport. Great to see. Adrian.
Yep. Okay, look, it's a very exciting day for Hervey Bay. Oh, who am I talking to? Sorry, I'll start again. To there. It's a very exciting day for Hervey Bay. With the new transport service underway. I've been advocating for some time that we need to improve our public transport. It's important, like a city like Hervey Bay, to have active, on-time public transport, and this new system that's being put into place today, the on-demand system, is going to be valuable for the community. There are a lot of individuals who have told me that they just needed those services to get to those prime services in Hervey Bay, like the hospital, here to the library, as the Minister mentioned, to the RSL, a location like this right in the middle of Palaszczuk where people can get to the services, and it's going to be great to have that service available. A new app which allows them to log in, put their details in and get picked up when they need to and delivered back to where they come at a certain time. So it's actually a great value-add service for Hervey Bay. I'm very excited that we have the public transport system being enhanced here. I put the call out and the Palaszczuk government has responded, and I'm really, really pleased and thank the Minister for coming here today and the Palaszczuk government for making this service available to the people of Hervey Bay.
How much of this is costing the state to roll out?
I will ask the Wide Bay Transit or yourself. I don't have the number.
I don't have a number.
Yeah. Look, yeah. As it's a number, it's variable. Obviously, we have a system that's currently here, and we're just enhancing that at this point in time.
And what locations will residents be able to travel to?
Well, they choose their locations, but the transport will be. Sorry, do you want me to go this way? Over there. We'll choose the locations. People will be able to select where they go to, but the locations are the main locations. It's the shopping centre, it's Stocklands, it's places like here that they'll be able to go to in front of to the library, to the hospital. I think it's important for our community as well that particularly some of those older members of our community who are now moving away from using their cars, that they have this service available for them. So they'll be able to go to the library, they'll be able to go to the hospital, RSL, places like that they frequently visit. It's between 7 a.m. and
7:30 and 5:30.
Is it 7:30? Sorry, okay. It's between 7:30 and 5:30. Monday to Friday? Or Monday to Saturday. I should know. Monday to Saturday.
Well, you mentioned before it had been rolled out in the Gold Coast. Is this the first in regional Queensland?
I'll have to ask the Minister to answer that one. I'm not really sure, is it?
Sorry, what was it? I didn't
Rolled on the Gold
what was the
Coast. Is
question?
this the first one in the regional areas?
Oh yeah, look, yes, absolutely. This is the first time we've done this in a regional area. The on-demand service on the Gold Coast has gone gangbusters. So we know that, for instance, that this area has got quite an older demographic, and so we think the demand for this on-demand service is going to be quite high, and so we're really looking forward to seeing how it goes. You can get picked up in Hervey Bay, Point Vernon, parts of Palaszczuk. They're the areas at the moment, and we'll see how it progresses, and if it's successful, we'll see about the future. Look, we will be open-minded about possibilities because what we want to see is better public transport. The more people that use public transport, whether you're in Brisbane, Townsville, Hervey Bay, wherever, means less cars on our road, and that means less congestion, less emissions. There's lots of advantages to that. So we want to provide people with real public transport options, whether it's in regional Queensland or in southeast Queensland.
Who do we have behind you here that we can talk to?
Yeah, it's Tim, isn't it?
Tim,
Yeah,
yes.
Tim, he's our techie guy. Tim, if you want to say your name, where you're from, and
Yes.
away you go.
So my name's Tim. I'm the Partner Success Principal at VIA. VIA is a full-service mobility company. So we are the technology provider behind this service. We're excited to be working with TransLink as well as Wide Bay Transit, the local operator.
How many buses will there be around?
Up here there'll be 2 buses. So these 2 buses will be able to provide on-demand transit options for the local community.
And Mark Bailey said before that it would only cost about $1 or $2. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
What's the price range for a single trip?
Yeah, so those prices are fixed to the best of my knowledge. So fixed at the prices that Mark mentioned before.
And how is this different to, say, ordering a taxi or an Uber? Is it easier? How does it stand out, I guess?
Yes, so this is a community-minded transport option. So there is the opportunity, of course, to be commingled with other riders on the service. As part of that commingling, you may be aggregated with other riders and have a real community feel on the transport option, which of course differs to ride-sharing services and taxis and the like.
How long does it take to get technology like this implemented in a community like that?
Absolutely, good question. So the technology implementation process takes approximately 8 weeks or so from the time that the service has been designed through to implementation.
And we've got Murray, if you want. Murray has been here since 1961.
Yep, certainly has. Go for it, mate.
So he
Yep.
knows a bit about buses.
Yeah, certainly does about the area.
Good morning. Yeah. So my name's Murray Prevno, Managing Director of Wide Bay Transit.
Murray, you're on the ground, you see it all. I guess how desperately do we need these extra services?
So Point Vernon has always had an on-demand service, but this is an enhanced one where it's giving a lot of other opportunities, and we've worked with TransLink to add the hospital because that's a honey spot that people need to go to and get to, and it wasn't serviced properly before. So you still got Woolies and Coles and Stockland and the RSL service, but now we've had the hospital included, which is a really great bonus for those people in Point Vernon. So an excellent service where you get picked up from your home.
Will you be driving one of these buses? Is that correct? Is that how that works?
Yes, no. So
we will need more bus drivers. Is that something you guys are working towards?
we're always looking for more staff, and certainly looking forward to seeing a few more come along. But we've got a dedicated team of 4 guys who'll be rotating the shifts around the 2 Kango buses and operating Monday to Saturday. So great service in that Point Vernon area, and we're looking forward to seeing it operate from the 20th onwards.
What makes Hervey Bay such a good candidate for a service like this?
Hervey Bay had an existing Kango service which was needed badly to be upgraded. So that was the focus on getting it upgraded. Hervey Bay is it's our area, so of course it needs that service. But the on-demand service is a great service, picking people up from their door. So it would work well in any area. So in Gympie or Toowoomba or any regional area would work well. It works brilliantly on the Gold Coast, and it's just another option instead of the normal route that we have operating along the Esplanade. It's a door-to-door service, and you don't have a fixed route. It's difficult to manage a fixed route when it might not go close to where you live and where you want to get the bus from. So having the on-demand service has the flexibility of going to where you actually want the service to go.
And Mark, is this a trial? How
Thanks,
will
Mark.
this be monitored, I guess, in its success?
Yeah, look, we'll be monitoring very closely, of course, the demand and the interest and how many people use this service. So we'll be promoting it, of course, nice and early on, make sure people are aware of it. But look, we're pretty confident that people will quickly understand and investigate what it is and how they can benefit, because that's the experience we've had from the Gold Coast. The buses, they're cute as punch. They really are. They really stand out. So people will be talking about them, and once people start using them and start sharing the experiences, the demand really goes up from there. So these are bigger buses, so they've got greater capacity for people. You'll share the trip with a few other people. It's very friendly and community. You know, when you go in there, you often see people you know. It's actually a really lovely experience for people. And look, $2.40 or $1.20, hard to get better value than that. Yeah, sure. Oh, look, I think it's a bit cheeky of a political party to be trying to, get details of something that's still in negotiation. I mean, this is a matter for negotiation between two levels of governments. When they might reach a decision, they'll share it with the public. That's how it rolls. You know, I think this is just a cheap political stunt, to be quite frank, from the Greens Party, who are playing politics.
And has there been any word around the dates around that announcement for the funding for the government?
Yeah, look, you'll understand that as a Transport Minister, I'm not the lead minister on this, so I know there's negotiations going on and discussions, as there should be. It's important to get the foundations right. You know, we've got 9.5 years until the Olympic and Paralympic Games. It is absolutely key for a successful Games to make sure we get all the foundations right. We've looked in the past, some Olympics have got it really wrong, some have got it really right. We want to be the ones that get it really right, and that's why the negotiations are thorough and being done in good faith, and I expect there to be very positive outcomes for the community.
Just on digital licences, when will the delayed trial in Townsville get underway, and then when will the rest of the state have access?
Yeah, look, I actually tuned in on the LNP media conference this morning. It was like the Newman government all over again. They're all there, the old Newman leftovers, David Crisafulli, Tim Nichols, Steve Minikin. Nothing's changed in 8 years in the LNP. You'd think they might have moved on to a new generation of people that had a different perspective than just cut, sack and sell, but apparently not. So we can go back to responding to Newman leftovers, I guess, and we'll keep doing that. But look, David Crisafulli's just showed today just how reckless and irresponsible he is. Last year we saw massive data breaches happening in Australia that needed responding to, including here in Queensland. The Optus breach affected a lot of different people, and so that had obvious implications on the digital licence that we're developing. So we will be releasing the best digital licence in the country that is more robust, that is more secure to an international standard than any other digital licence in Australia. So David Crisafulli wants us to rush out and put out a digital licence that's inferior, that can be hacked by anyone who's a digital hacker or some foreign government. That seems to be what he's trying to say today. Just get it out there, let's just do it. Well, I'm not going to play Russian roulette with the data of Queenslanders, as David Crisafulli seems to be proposing. I will make sure that when we launch the digital licence, it is of an international standard, that it is far superior to the one in New South Wales and other states. And we are doing all that testing right now to ensure that it is robust and that people can have confidence that their data is secure. So David Crisafulli, needs to take a good hard look at himself and his reckless behaviour about saying, let's rush out and throw a digital licence out there without the normal protections, and let's play Russian roulette with people's data, seems to be the LNP position. I mean, it's just pathetic.
Next couple of months, 6 months, do we have a time as yet?
It will. There have been some delays because of the breaches that have been happening, and our response to the Optus breach. We were dealing with a lot of people very quickly, and I think we did a very good job assisting the public on that. As soon as the testing is fully done, and we are absolutely confident about the security of people's data, and that it is to an international standard, the highest standard in Australia, we will then release it. But look at their media conference this morning. They were suggesting that nobody's got a digital licence in Queensland. I mean, it's just an outright lie. We've had trials, in fact, in this region, and people adopted it, and there's plenty of people in this region who've got a digital licence. So, you know, for them to just lie on social media, lie in their press conferences, it's just like the laptop last year. They lied about the laptop for 5 months of press conferences, and when the independent CCC report found that they were lying, they then didn't apologise, didn't say we got it wrong, didn't take any responsibility, and here they are at it again, lying for political benefit. And I'm calling it out right here and now. It's got to stop. People don't want to see this from public figures. They want to see some integrity and some honesty instead of this scurrilous Newman-like behaviour from David Crisafulli, who is a big advocate and fan of Campbell Newman. He called him special. He said he was special. And we see the same old Newman-style tactics. I think people are over that.
So people on the Fraser Coast are still using a driver's licence that isn't tested to its best ability. Is that right?
Well, we had trials in 2020 in this area, and people adopted it in significant numbers. But since then, we've dealt with a range of issues to upgrade it to a higher standard. So, but you know, their suggestion this morning was that nobody in Queensland had a digital licence, and it's just false. It's just an outright lie. So, you know, you've got to take a grain of salt the LNP press conferences, and when they get asked some difficult questions, they go, you know, they're not very good at that. They need a little bit of pressure and they need a bit of scrutiny because, the dishonesty at their press conferences is pretty regular.
Just some questions on the scaffold collapse in Cheltenham.
Yes, it's in my electorate actually. Yeah, know it well, and I was on social media last night informing my local constituents about the situation, and also early this morning.
Beautiful. I guess what was the department's response to when it happened?
Yeah, look, what we see here is apparently a contractor who's doing some painting on the bridge. There's some of the scaffolding has collapsed last night, so fortunately nobody's been injured. Multiple agencies attended last night. I want to thank them. The police, fire and emergencies, Queensland Rail Rapid Response Group was out there very quickly, securing the site, making sure people were safe and dealing with the situation. They were able to reopen the road well and truly in time for AM peak this morning. There was some rail reduction in speed for a short period, but the rail services are normal again. And they're working hard today to identify why the scaffolding did collapse. We are very glad and fortunate that nobody was injured, but I understand it was a painting contractor involved, and I know Queensland Rail are working very hard to get to the bottom of it. They certainly do not like to see anything like this happening on a Queensland Rail site.
Yeah, is that a little bit worrying to see that happen on the rail site?
Oh, it's very concerning. I was very concerned. Someone tagged me on social media last night. I was straight on to the Queensland Rail CEO to get information, and I was sharing that with the public, very quickly. And we don't want to see the public threatened or unsafe. And something's gone wrong here. We don't know whether it's an equipment failure or whether it's a technique failure. But we will identify it quickly and to make sure it doesn't happen again.
And do you know what the next step is for removal?
Look, I'll get an update this afternoon on it, but I understand the site's been secured. The local road, Wharf Street, reopened early today, so there's no issue there. But look, how long it takes to remove any damaged equipment, etc., I'll get an update on that this afternoon. But I'm glad that nobody was injured, and that agencies who responded very quickly on a Sunday night on behalf of the public did a terrific job.
And will the department or Queensland Rail be checking the integrity of other similar structures in Queensland?
Oh, look, I imagine if there's any implications for similar work anywhere else on the rail network, I am sure Queensland Rail will be onto it straight away to ensure that the public is safe. But I understand it's a contractor involved, not a Queensland Rail, staff member or operation. But we want our contractors, of course, to be safe as well.
And how lucky is it that no one was hurt in this incident?
Oh, look, we are very fortunate that this incident happened, at a time where there wasn't anyone around. There's no doubt about that. So that is a concern, and we'll be getting to the bottom of it very quickly.
Is there any anticipation of delays to train on roads during that removal process?
Yeah, look, we don't expect any further delays to rail. The scaffolding was actually under the bridge, not above the bridge, so I don't expect any further delays, but there was a precautionary reduction in speed on the rail bridge on Sunday night. Fortunately, we don't, the services are much reduced on a Sunday night, as you can imagine, but the rail services are back to normal now, which is great to see.
just some local questions about the Woodgate boat ramp. The state have identified that the boat ramp was a priority to be upgraded in 2017. Why hasn't it been done?
Oh, look, I wasn't aware that this was going to be raised in the press conference. I'm very happy to find out some details and come back to you specifically. All good?
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Lovely. Thanks, everyone. Lovely. Terrific. Oh, okay. Actually, it'll be finished by Easter.